That was my personal motivation. I feel responsible to do something to make our planet a little bit better. That's why I'm very, very, very glad to be in Vietnam. I'm very glad that we found a really good partner to help us to bring our products to the Vietnamese growers. Because you can have a personal goal, but if you travel, I work for Koppert, I travel a lot, I visited many, many countries in the world. I started up IBM in more than 35 countries in the world. So don't tell me that it's not possible. It's a very nice job to do, and it's very nice to face that you can use the power of nature to think and to act in another way. And that's what I'm going to try to tell you today, that using IBM is the way to go in the future. Also for Vietnam, because it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful country. So let's do everything which is in our hands to leave it as it is now. Because if you start to work in horticulture, in agriculture, the first thing what you face in many countries is that the chemicals at the end are not the solution. 40 years ago, I started to fight with spider mite. I started to fight with whiteflies. I started to fight with thrips. At that time, everybody was using chemicals. Today, we are still fighting with thrips, with spider mite, with aphids, with whiteflies. And the problems, they are not going down, they are going up. Because all the chemicals that we are using slowly are not effective anymore. And that's the problem that you face all over the world. So that's why if we start to implement IBM, the use of many more tools than only chemicals, you face that brings better solutions, better protecting your crops, higher quality products, higher productions. And the most important thing, in my opinion, a better environment. Not only to live, but also to practice, to work, to do your job in the greenhouses. I started in Holland 40 years ago because biological control basically started in Holland. Because horticulture was already an ongoing thing in Holland. But there was a big threat. We had to fight spider mite. All the chemicals at that time we were using were not effective anymore. So that was a big threat for our customers, our growers. The product that we introduced at that time, phytociders, was bringing a real good solution. That was the start, that was the eye-opener. Because at that time, we were not thinking about the environment. We were only thinking about solutions. 2 years later, the whitefly became a big, big threat in Holland. Even so big that people were talking about we have to stop growing tomatoes, we have to stop growing eggplants, because the whitefly was so aggressive and we couldn't kill them anymore. That was the reason that we tried to find new solutions. And the new solution was IPM. So it's not only a personal motivation to make the world a little bit better, but the biggest thing is to help growers to find better solutions for keeping the pests under control. Because not only today, but also tomorrow, there is a big threat, and that's resistance. Insects, diseases, they become resistant for the chemicals that we can use. In the past, our chemical companies, they were really coming every year with new products. That's why we slowly became a kind of slave of the pharmaceutical companies, because we rely on the chemicals. Today, it becomes more and more and more difficult for these companies to produce new chemicals, because the environment, the government, they don't accept the chemical input anymore. They want to go back to more natural solutions. So again, that's why implementing IPM, and I'm happy to be here today, Renee. I'm happy to celebrate the party that we can start from today to implement IPM in Vietnam. And again, we as Koppert, with our partner over here in Vietnam, we really are motivated to make it a success. That doesn't mean that we will have all the solutions within a very short period of time, because then you need a big toolbox, and we are still in the process to fill up the toolbox. But keep in mind that we put a lot of energy in this part. But we have a toolbox, and we can start to implement the IPM system. Mainly for the biggest threats, trips, spider mite, whitefly, we can start. And we can start because also in Vietnam, what I faced, I'm not so long in Vietnam, it was just 2 days, but fortunately I had the possibility to visit some greenhouses, and it was the same as everywhere where we have to start IPM. You already face that the trips is really hard to manage. And I also faced that it's still possible in Vietnam to use what we call hard chemicals. In the future, also, the Vietnamese government will face over these hard chemicals, and they will decide to skip these, because these chemicals, they are too hard, they are ruining too much biodiversity in the